Welcome to RPS Today, our show about events happening in the Reading Public Schools. I'm Sherri VandenAkker, the host of the show, and we're here again with Dr. John Doherty, our wonderful superintendent. And today we're going to talk about the arts.
That's great, because I think it's such an important part of what we do in our schools.
So I teach literature, and that's not technically a visual or a performing art, but one thing I tell my students is that I feel that if they get really good at being able to read a text on the page and to identify the conflicts, identify the symbols, and find meaning through the theme, that will help them with the text of their own lives, in which at times they're protagonists, at times they're antagonists. Right. And they're always engaged in conflict and looking for pattern and meaning. So it's a really important topic to me as well. So I've been doing some research in preparation for today, and what I've discovered is that the No Child Left Behind legislation passed by President Bush way back in 2002 and the newer Every Student Succeeds Act both call for really robust education in the arts, and for it not to be just kind of an add-on to the curriculum, but to really be fundamental to what students study. So I'm excited about that because I think especially in tight budget times, it's very tempting to say, what do we not have to do? Right. And to think about cutting back on the arts. But here we have bipartisan administrations who both have looked at the mountains of research showing that the arts are valuable in and of themselves, but as we'll discuss, have a lot of carryover and help with achievement in all the academic subjects, in thinking, in 21st century workplace skills, and in school climate.
I agree.
I was stunned when I looked at some data that showed students who don't have regular exposure to the arts tend to perform lower on math and literacy standardized assessments than average, and that students who have robust exposure, like 4-year exposure in high school, tend to score super high. In arts, you're decoding notes, you're decoding words, and I think that just has such carryover then into what people tend to think of as the 3 R's, the reading, writing, and arithmetic.
There's a lot of research out there that shows a connection between music and math, math achievement, and there are similar research showing similar connections with the arts and student achievement overall. So you're right on target.
I had the opportunity to go to Joshua Eaton this morning.
Yes.
And they had a series of, they called them informances. So they invited parents and families in to watch a music class. And I loved it. For one thing, I noticed how the teacher gave the students opportunities to take leadership roles by volunteering to stand up and to start the group off on certain things.
What's the next note of this song? What's the next note? McKenna. Hey, McKenna, I need you to stand up for me. McKenna, can you play me, or actually, can you show everybody in the back what an A looks like? Awesome, great job. Can you show everybody on this side what an A looks like? Pick a side. Sure. Awesome. How about that side? People in the front. Awesome. McKenna, what I need you to do is play a B immediately followed by an A. It's magical. It's magical. Can we all play a B followed by an A? Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Awesome. Stop.
I also loved seeing how he was teaching pattern recognition with drums. And I was thinking how great that will be once they have to do that skill in math as well.
Yes.
So now the game, poison pattern. I'm going to play one of these, tell you it's the poison pattern. If you play it, I get a point. If you don't, you get a point. Here's the first poison pattern. Raise your hand when you see it. Do it again. One more time. What do you think? Carissa. It is 1. Here we go. You're going to play when I play 1? No. You sure? Yeah. You positive? Yeah. All right, let's see. All right, well played, well played.
I noticed too that it was a very physical experience. The students were standing, they were sitting, they were transitioning, so they were physically engaged in the process. I thought it was really interesting because that's not how I was taught.
Right, right. The movement piece is critical in any classroom. And I think the teacher is Daniel Htoo-Levine. Yeah, and he's a first year teacher, and he does a great job. The kids love him, and they connect very well with him. And so he really, and our other music teachers as well at the elementary level. I've seen them all in action. They do a great job of the movement music piece. We even see it at the Rise preschool level with the music and movement classes and how important that is. And you're right, it's much different than when we went to school and you sat and learned music notes.
Exactly.
Much different experience.
Especially when you're at the ages that they're at, it's important to have fun with what you're doing, and I believe that very strongly. So we're going to end with a lineup song, which is just sort of like a goofy, improvised song to kind of like take them from one place to the next. So you'll see in a second. Tyler, line up. Go ahead, line up. Just kidding, sit down. Alright, for real, line up this time. I promise I won't tell you to sit. I promise I won't tell you to sit down. McKenna, line up. Jameer, go line up. And Kaylin, line up. Kaylin, line up again. Jameer, come back and sit down. Just kidding, Jameer, go line up. Emma, line up. Anna, line up. Mariana, line up. TJ, line up. Jack, go line up. Kevin McGlinchey, go line up. May, go line up. Ryan, sit down. Just kidding, Ryan, line up. And Zach, go line up. Jake, go line up. Zessus, line up. Young, go line up. Matthews, line up. We got one more person left. You wanna go line up? No, not yet. Everybody wave at Tyler. Everybody say hi, Tyler. Everybody say hi, Tyler. Hi, Tyler. Quack like a duck at Tyler. Quack like a duck at. Everybody do a disco. Some people doing disco. Stop doing disco and finally Tyler line up.
So what do you think the arts can do for a student to help them get ready for the 21st century? Because we hear so much about STEM,
Right.
Science, technology, engineering, and math, which of course is critical. But now I'm hearing more and more about STEAM, where
Right.
they stick the arts in there.
Right.
Okay, because like a computer can maybe model a fractal, but a
Right.
computer couldn't conceive of a fractal.
Correct.
So what can the arts do?
So the arts provide students the opportunity to really use some of those right brain skills that normally you may not use in some of the areas of math and science, such as collaboration, creativity. Those are critical skills. So if you're in a band, you have to learn to work with others, and you have to, certain instruments are playing at certain times, and so that's a collaboration piece. I had the opportunity because my two daughters were a big part of the RMHS Drama Club, and the chorus, that they really became part of a group, and they felt an ownership to the type of work that they were doing, and they felt included. And I do believe that those types of skills are the types of skills that also help you in other situations when you're going to college or when you're going into a new career.
So how do the arts help with social emotional learning?
I believe that it gives students a chance to express themselves in ways that maybe normally they can't. It allows them to be someone different, such as in a drama type class.
What's going on in the elementary schools?
During the school day, we do offer general art classes in grades 1 through 5 at the elementary level. And the thinking why art is not in kindergarten, because we get asked that question a lot, is they are doing a lot of artwork as part of their regular curriculum in kindergarten. So to have a separate art class doesn't necessarily make sense at that age. Although certainly I know that there are school districts that do have art in kindergarten. We have general music classes in K through 5. And I'm actually going to put a little bit of a plug in for the Reading Education Foundation, because they have helped fund at the elementary school level over the last couple of years ukuleles. So we've always wanted to have string program throughout our district. Unfortunately, we don't have it an orchestra and strings in the middle school. But at the elementary level, we do have the ukulele, and I know our music teachers use the ukulele as one of those tools to get those expressions out in music. And I know the kids love when they get to use the ukuleles.
So at the middle school then, every student has art and music.
And every student in 6th and 7th grade get art and music, as well as you have the opportunity to be part of band and or chorus. So they do have the opportunity in middle school to do both. You don't have to pick band or chorus. You can do both. We have a fabulous band program at our two middle schools. It's an elective program.
Only elective?
Only elective, correct.
Okay.
We also have a combined middle school jazz band that meets after school, and one of our music teachers teaches that jazz band program.
middle school jazz band is participating in a festival.
Yes, the Massachusetts Association of Jazz Educators
Right.
is having the middle school jazz band competition, and it is actually being held at Reading Memorial High School.
And last year they won a silver. They very narrowly missed a gold. We have students who audition for select chorus also,
Correct.
as well as for jazz band.
Correct.
So the select chorus, those students can then audition to be in district band and district chorus performances.
That is correct as well.
And both schools had students accepted into district.
Into
and
the
performing
junior
in-
districts, yes. Yes, I believe we had over 30 students selected this year at the grades 6 through 9.
And then in the high school, is it only elective all the way through?
Yes, so there is a fine arts graduation requirement, and
Oh.
all students have to take 2 semesters.
2 semesters?
Yes.
Okay, and so they could take either performing arts or visual
Or
arts?
visual arts, correct.
And so how does that compare with other districts?
I think it's pretty comparable. The state has a set of requirements called the Mass Core requirements. Actually, the Mass Core requirements, I believe, only require 1 semester of the arts. So we actually have a little bit more than that. But it's pretty comparable from school district to school district.
What percentage of our students do you feel take art beyond that minimum requirement?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say, off the top of my head, I would say a good 30%, 40% do go beyond, taking either an additional music, an additional art, or drama class. We have a fabulous art program at the high school. Have had many students that have gone on to major in art in college, or the visual arts, or digital photography.
We also had some students participate in an art show at Montserrat College for the 6th Congressional District.
Yes, we did. I believe we had 6, I want to say, students at the high school level that were honored. And I think we also had some students at the middle school level that were honored as well.
And one of our students, Amy
Casavant, yes.
Yes, she came in 2nd place.
Yes, very talented artist.
And then another, Sam Williams, won honorable mention.
Yes.
And Representative Moulton
Yes.
apparently gave out the prizes.
He gave
to
out the
them.
prizes. So you have a high school jazz band, you have a marching band, which is a fall activity. You do have during the school day, you have 2 band classes, the regular band and then what's called the symphonic band. And then you have chorus as well. So there are different opportunities during the day. We also have music electives.
And our marching band was just in Disney World, wasn't it?
Yes, during April vacation, they went down and they marched in, I believe, 2 parades at Disney World. And they also had time working with members of the Disney cast.
Weren't they playing a score for a film and seeing how the musical score matches up with the animation or with the filming?
Yes.
It sounded like a
Yeah,
fascinating
it's
program.
a great opportunity. And they do that once every 4 years so that every student who is in the program for the 4 years gets to experience it.
And how do they fundraise for that?
Oh, they, some of it is paid for by families, but I know they do an awful lot of fundraising over the 4 years. Whether they're selling mattresses, they do have their annual mattress
that's right,
sale.
the mattress sale.
They do run a marching band competition each year for the region, and the proceeds of the refreshment sales go towards, helping to defray the costs. Our band parents organization does an amazing job supporting the band program and also raising funds for band activities. Our jazz band at the high school is performing this Sunday, Mother's Day, at the Hat Show. As all the best jazz bands in the state participate in this annual event at the Hat Show. And so our jazz band is going to be performing this Sunday, and that's always exciting. I've gone several times to see them, and it's just great. In order to be able to be invited, you have to get a gold medal at the state finals, which our jazz band has.
And we had a very accomplished student,
I
Julianne Mulvey. She's a bassoonist, and
Yes.
she's a senior, I think.
She
right?
is a senior.
And she just performed.
She was on NPR. She did a great job. We also have a drama program at the high school. And there are electives in the drama in drama classes as well. They can take technical theater, they can take acting, and they can take improv, things like that. So there's a lot of in-school and after-school opportunities as well. At the middle school, we have each school does a drama production, a musical each year, and then at the high school, we actually have 4 drama productions.
That's major.
At least 1 musical, sometimes 2, and then 2 winter shows, and then a spring show. And again, our drama teacher, Natalie Cuna, Kristen Killian, and the rest of the staff that are part of the drama productions just do a fabulous job. I mean, when you look to see the type of things that are happening in our drama performances, you're just amazed that these are high school kids. And also when you see them at the middle school level, the same thing. It's just kudos to those people that are working with those students and bringing out those types of skills.
Let's talk a little bit about the extracurricular activities in the high school.
Sure.
I couldn't believe it when I looked at the list. So folks can do marching band,
Yes.
color guard,
Yes.
RMHS singers,
Yes.
a cappella groups, which have very clever names. If you
Yes.
know music
The
terminology,
crescendos and the
Fermata
Fermata
Nowhere.
Nowheres, yes.
Good puns if you know music. Drama Club,
Yes.
Shakespeare Society, Playwriting Club, Improvisaurus, and even a literary magazine.
Yes. And each one plays, it has its own niche.
In teachers,
Are the advisors for most of them, yes.
that's a lot of
Yeah.
commitment and
Yeah.
dedication and passion, I think.
Yes, it's not uncommon to see our arts and our fine arts people there on weekends all the time, and yeah, it's not uncommon to see that.
It's really exciting to see how much is going on in the district. Now, a lot of us know about the arts in Reading through Arts Fest, which is really a fabulous showcase of the arts in Reading. How long has this program been going on?
I believe Arts Fest has been around for 10 years. When I was assistant superintendent, I had a conversation one day with Bill Enslow and Al Mosier. Bill Enslow was the fine arts director at the time for the high school, and Al Mosier was the K-5 music and art leader, curriculum leader. And I said, I would love to bring this to Reading, and what do you think? And so from that point forward, the two of them took the idea and they just went with it. And they were just so excited to get it going, and it's just amazing to see. And our art teachers take so much pride in putting that all together. And then in the Performing Arts Center, you have student performances of chorus, the bands, you have the jazz band playing at the 2 levels, the elementary chorus. It's just amazing to see these groups performing over 2 nights, and it just makes you very proud to be a member of the Reading community and knowing that the arts are alive and thriving in Reading.
It wouldn't surprise me if you had several thousand people go through Arts Fest by the time it's over.
I agree. I agree. Absolutely.
I'm stunned at how much work it must be, because I think there's art from every grade at every school.
Yes.
Who are these teachers and staff bringing this together?
So it's great.
It's all labeled, too.
And it's all labeled.
Your student's name and grade and teacher are all labeled.
Yes.
Every piece, every one of those hundreds of pieces.
Yes. It's a fabulous few days.
Thanks so much for joining us today. It was so much fun to talk about the arts, and I'm sure that most of you who are watching have had some experience with the arts in Reading and through the Reading Public Schools. So thank you so much, Superintendent.
It's a pleasure, and I do encourage people to come and watch one of the performances. They'll be amazed.
I agree. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.